Good afternoon, everyone. I'm actually here to talk about agriculture, and if you see, I'm kind of dressed up because a lot of us would see farming as so dusty, they're so dirty, they don't deserve a space on a stage. And if you observe, I'm wearing a 6 inches heels because it's a statement. When I walk on the ground and make holes, we can still plant corn after it. That's still food security, right? Um, When farming started 10,000 BC, I actually started farming just 20 years ago. So I started teaching farmers and working with farmers at the age of 12 because I grew up in a farm. So it's in my DNA and I embrace it. And I'm so happy that I actually just not finding passion in farming, but actually I found purpose in what I'm passionately love to do. I have a picture here of the first civilization and a gift of plow. Sumerian civilization is the first civilization that is very important in our history. Why? It's because the gift of plow is the first gift of God to man. When you have a first gift of God to man, which is plow, it means you're asked to farm. Meaning, farming and agriculture started civilization. And when we talk about farming and agriculture, farmers are very, very important. These are the people behind it, and I must say that farmers are the most resilient people on the planet. You know, in the Philippines, we have 20 to 21 typhoons every year. But if you see, after one typhoon, you can see a smiling farmer going to the field with his shovel and started planting again. That's resiliency is all about. And I'm talking about here the civilization, it's because this is very important. You know, the first domestication of man is actually domestication of food and how we become more human and more civilized. And I have a question here. Have you asked yourself about this though? What if there were no farmers? You know, every day we enjoy the food we eat on our table. And sometimes the farmer is so intangible in the process. We don't see them. We don't see them farming our food. What we see is just the food in front of us. Oh, speaking about the food. You know, food is something that unites and excites everyone, especially if it's so delicious. Going home with my grandmother's cooking. It's so delicious though when you know that there's someone farming and producing your food ethically and in a good way. I'm putting here a face of a farmer, and it's very, very happy farmer, very humane, taking care of a carabao. It's because the farmers are the most important in the sector of agriculture. They are the spirit and the soul of the entire food production. It's not about not only the land and the seeds that we have, but it's really about the people behind it. I also put the face of a farmer here. He's so happy and so confident in his face. It's because all of us here in this room are so dependent in agriculture. It is not an option. It is also not a luxury. It is a need. What farmers are producing every day is a basic necessity that we eat every day. The food that we eat that nourish our body, but more importantly, our soul. Second, the clothing that you're wearing right now, especially if you're producing it in ethical fiber from cotton. When you're driving a car, the rubber of your cars, if it's made of not synthetic rubber, your house, if it's made of wood, it's planted by farmers. The wood that you make for a house. So it's not an option. It's not a luxury. I must say agriculture is a must and it's a very important fundamental of our life. There are actually 4 major purposes of farming. 1, farming to produce food. 2nd, farming to preserve nature. 3rd, farming to make money. 4th, farming to break poverty. But a lot of us, in my observation for the last 20 years, we're just so focused on farming to make money. So I have another question. How do you like to be fed then? If our focus is just farming to make money, science is very, very important. But in agriculture, science alone is not enough. Science alone is all about material things. Of course, I respect and love science because It created a lot of inventions, heaps and bounds of innovations that really help us in different advancement. Longer alive, help us in all our medical situation, help us in discovering the universe and the constellations. But at the end of the day, when we remove the human value, which is the farmer, in the equation, it's nothing. We are not here eating because it is the food that nourishes our body, but we are here because we're human beings. We are here, it's because we also nourish our soul. And if you know that farmers are the one who makes food more nourished, not only for our body, you will value them more. If we will always eliminate the farmers in the process and we're not valuing the farmers, it is also compromising the fact of getting what's real food. We are going to shortcuts. We're going to be more having synthetic foods on the supermarkets. We'll be compromising our value as human beings. Farmers in reality are the ones that making everything in our food natural, organic in nature, and at the same time, they're making it real. They're making it more nutritious. And they're putting a lot of value in that sometimes that value is intangible. And this one, I want to challenge you. This is one of my favorite movies. I think some of you in the group, can relate to this. This is Matrix. I'm putting this one to scare everyone, that this is the end of the world, we'll be farming humans. But I'm just putting it here, it's because this is the biggest metaphor in life. Man created machines to make life easier. But at the end, it enslaved humanity. If we will eliminate the farmers in the process of food creation, when are we going to stop really measuring the value of things, not only on the economics of things, but measuring things because it's human, measuring things because there's a value of human being in it, and measuring things in our food because there's a value of a farmer putting a lot of effort to make that food valuable and to be on your table. And I have also this insight that I want to challenge everyone. When are we really going to stop farming that is not preserving the environment? When are we going to stop farming that is making a lot of people poor and exploited? When are we going to think that economics should balance with the environment? Economics of things should balance more importantly in the value of human being. The value of human being, the producers, the farmers, and you, all of you here who are consuming the food, we should not compromise that one. Once we compromise that, the danger of things is, when are we going to stop producing when we cannot produce anything at all but being grown like this in Matrix? We'll be in tubes and just being grown as human beings. Lastly, this is so cute. I saw it in Google and I fell in love with it. And I said, oh, this is very, very beautiful. Why? When I was 6 years old, my mother told me, Cherrie, the shortest distance in life is the distance between your brain and your heart. Brain and your heart. And this is the shortest distance in life. But when you don't know how to connect that distance, forget about life. And that's how I started looking on the people on the farm working every day under the heat of the sun, rain or shine, producing food for all of us. And my mom said, you always need to focus on valuing these people. So in my social enterprise, AGREA, and me, we are always trying our best daily to develop sustainable agricultural practices with respect to nature, with respect to to people and with respect to the economic benefits that is not only inclusive, but is financially equitably distributed to everyone. The moment we forget about these factors in our society, and more importantly, in giving respect to our farmers every day, it's about compromising ourselves in the process because we are the consumers. I always believe that, I'm known in this statement, oh, let's make farming cool, smart, sexy. Isn't it obvious? But more importantly, humane. We need to make farming humane. And how can we make farming humane? Let's make it not extraordinary, but an ordinary thing to thank a farmer every day. Thank you so much.